This morning, we are chatting with our old friend, Ben Gullett, who is a food enthusiast. And last time we were talking Friendsgiving, but now we're getting ready for Christmas. And you've got the hat. So let's talk about food.
We could do that. I will say the hat makes me look a lot less bald than I am really in real life.
It looks
which
great.
Is nice. I swear this is all full of hair. You just can't tell.
I believe it, and I will perpetuate that lie for you. No problem.
Fabulous.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, today we're making some nice, good Christmas holiday recipes that couldn't be any simpler. And I swear to you, they were simple because I made them all last night in preparation for today. And I think it's really, in reality, maybe a half hour to make these two recipes tops.
Perfect.
Tops. But if you are making holiday recipes or you are making really complicated recipes, the best thing you could do is do as much as you can the night before. So you're not all doing it, Christmas morning, you're sweating, you're getting gross, and you're taking like 3 showers for the day. It's okay. Do whatever you can the night before. And even these dishes could be done the night before, which was, like I said, I made these last night, but I didn't finish them off until this morning. So it's really good. Let's start with Southern Recipe Small Batches Sweet Potato Crunch. Who here likes sweet potatoes? Like this, like nice big, right? It's delicious. My grandma used to make this like sweet potato casserole recipe every year, but she always put more and more sugar in it the older she got because she couldn't quite taste it. And it was always good year after year after year. So we're kind of doing something similar here. So you're going to start with your sweet potatoes. If you want to do it completely from scratch, you're going to buy those sweet potatoes. You're looking for like 4 large ones. You're going to, shave them. That's not right. And then you're going to cut them up into cubes. And then you're going to boil them off for about 15, 20 minutes and then let them cool. Or you're going to cheat like I do. And you're going to use canned yams, canned sweet potatoes, and you're just going to pour them in. You're going to want to drain those cans because you don't need any of that water at all. All right, so we've got our sweet potatoes here. We're just going to mash them with, nice potato masher, which is kind of fun. If you can hear the sound it's making right now, it's a very attractive sound. And that's kind of what you're looking for. Okay. All right, so we've mashed our sweet potatoes. Now we're going to add about a half a stick of butter. So I've got a whole stick melted here because I'm going to need the other half for this recipe. So I'm just going to pour about half of it in, just like that.
Butter.
Anyway. Right, butter, you can't go wrong with butter. We're gonna do a little bit of vanilla extract because that's important. So about a tablespoon, don't need a whole lot. It definitely goes a very long way.
Love your measuring skills.
Right, look, I learned long ago, the only place that measuring skills really matters is if you're baking like desserts. Everything else, do whatever you want. So here,
salt, Ben? Is that what you just sprinkled in there? Salt?
Yeah, just a little bit of salt, a little bit of kosher salt. I definitely use unsalted butter so that way, this is a real good tip. Use the unsalted butter. You can control the salt way better when you're just adding it yourself, right? Here comes my next best measurement. We're gonna do a cup of brown sugar, as much or as little as you want. Let's see what comes out of the bag. There we go. Again, grandma wants it to be sweeter, so maybe a cup and a half. What the
That's
heck?
A big cup.
No, I used a tall Tom Collins glass for that, so it's fine. Nobody's really specific about the cup. And then we're gonna do about a half cup of milk. Sure. Here goes that half cup. That looks like a half cup. I'm pretty sure.
Looks great.
I know what a half cup looks like. Okay, then you're gonna stir this. You're gonna mix it until it all comes nice together. We got all the lumps out of the sweet potatoes, but if you don't, it's okay too. It's like a big block of surprise when you're eating this for dinner. Also, lovely sound. All right, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it into our pan. Now, we're gonna let this just sit while we do the other bits. Here we go. Look at that. That's gonna be good. I know it for sure because I've already had some. All right, so we're gonna sit that aside. Now, we're going to make our topping for this. So we've got our other half stick of butter. Let's see, what do we want to put in here now? We're gonna do a half cup of flour. We're going to do more brown sugar. Pretty sure that's what the recipe calls for, but even if it doesn't, nobody's gonna know. Sure, they're gonna have to take an insulin shot, but it's gonna be fine. All right, and then a little bit of more kosher salt, just a little pinch. It doesn't really need a whole lot. This, you're gonna mix together until it becomes nice and lumpy. So I don't know if you can see there, but it's already like coming into lumps, right?
Yeah,
okay.
That's gonna make a nice topping for us. Just like that. It doesn't really take much. And then to this, we're gonna add maybe about a handful, 2 handfuls, depending on how big your hands are, of pecans to this batch here.
Yum.
And that's our topping. Now, I know you're saying, but Ben.
But Ben.
Thank you. We should have rehearsed. You're thinking, but where do the Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds come in? Well, they come in right at the end. So you've got your casserole going. You're going to put this, our nice pecan brown sugar spread. You're going to spread that over the top. And then this is where the crunch comes in. We're going to use either Southern Recipe small batch's apple cinnamon pork rinds, which are really nice, delicious, perfect for the seasonal flavor. And if you cannot find those, that's okay, because you can also use their sea salt and cracked black pepper pork rinds. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but really, we put a little bit of salt in there, but that pepper really, really makes the sweet potatoes pop, which it's actually really good. And if you still want that cinnamon flavor, even for me last night, I sprinkled just a little bit of cinnamon over the top of it. And then you get to crunch the pork rinds. Also, I gotta tell you, I've made a lot of recipes. I've made a lot of recipes with pork rinds. This is the first time I've ever done it with a potato masher, and I will never do it otherwise differently because this was so easy to get them crunched. I loved it. So you're gonna crunch them all up.
That sound is pleasing.
Is it? Okay, good.
It's like a song.
Well, I don't know any songs that go with pork rind crunch, but I will make up one next time. All right, so that you're gonna spread right over top of your casserole, and then you get this thing that looks so amazing and delicious. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it smells so good. You're gonna put that in a 350-degree oven. You're gonna bake it off for about 25 to 30 minutes, and then, consume. It's so good. All right, we got one more recipe for you. I'm not gonna demo it, but I'm gonna talk it through real quick because it is very simple. We made a walnut pesto dip to go with parm crisp, which are those like 100% cheese, delicious things. So to make this, you're gonna make the pesto first in a food processor. We used arugula, a little bit of garlic. We used, what else did we make? Oh, walnuts, because walnut pesto. Put some walnuts in there, and you're gonna cut a lemon in half, and you're gonna use half of that lemon juice. Put that in the processor, let it get mixed up, and then slowly add some extra virgin olive oil until it's like a nice, real good spread. Separate that off to a different bowl, and then the other part of this, the best part of this, I think, is the goat cheese. So in that food processor, you're gonna put about 6 ounces of goat cheese. You're gonna put a little bit, the other half of the lemon juice, a little bit of lemon zest, a little bit more garlic, blend that up. And then once you've got it, your goat cheese spread goes down, your pesto goes on top. It kind of looks like caviar, it's not. We put some walnuts around the bit, and then we've also got some nice, delicious parm crisp. The great thing about this is you can make these recipes. You can have these on the dinner table. This is an appetizer, this is a dinner table, whatever you want. But if you want to make other things that are really simple, you can even make a charcuterie board, right? You can put the pork rinds on there. You can put the parm crisp on there. You can put cheeses, jellies, all that stuff is going to go really well together. And the great thing is it's all low carb. To start, this is no longer low carb. I'm just going to be honest with you. That has far past low carb. But the pork rinds alone, they're definitely low carb, high protein. They're delicious things. All right. So now what do you want to talk about?
So question for you, Ben. If you don't have a food processor, is there a way to do it without a food processor, or do you have to have that?
So I'll be honest, I don't have a food processor. But I do have like a magic bullet.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
To be truthful, to get it mixed because everything just kind of wants to settle to the bottom.
Yeah.
So maybe it took a little bit longer, but I was able to do that. It's the same thing with the extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of consistency as you're just kind of testing to see where it's at. Of course, salt and pepper it just for a little bit of, get that flavor right. If you don't have a food processor, definitely put it on your Christmas list this year. Ask for it the night before so you can make this stuff the night before.
Ask for it now.
Exactly. Look, I'm going to need this for Christmas Eve. Don't we open up one present on Christmas Eve like everybody else? Which one's the food processor? I'm going to need that.
And then as soon as you open it, get prepping.